Avast, and welcome back to Ship of Fools, a D&D actual play podcast. My name is Hannah McLean, and I am your dungeon master for this nautical adventure. Joining me today, I have Andy Letai.
Finn Fisher.
Nolani Stevenson.
Regin Stockweather.
And Taylor Wallace.
Malachi Kassir.
I did my character voice too that time.
That was good.
You normally do.
You sounded the same.
No, usually it's just my voice.
Then you are turning into Finn.
Shaking it up. Well, we are here, and we are back, and we are walking toward a creepy well. So let's recap, and then let's get...
And don't even get me started on what's happening in the podcast.
And
I don't know why we record these in the woods at night, guys.
I think the ambience is helpful.
I'm scared.
Okay. So where we last left our heroes, the boys had headed to the small halfling village of Still Sky in search of yet another mysterious magical cube. After getting dropped off, they initially had a very nice introduction to Still Sky. Met some nice halflings, including the mayor and the owner of the inn and her family. Entered themselves in a baking competition. Quickly began to realize that things were messed up when it came to people's memories and just the way they approached the island in general. Had some unsettling interactions with Lizzie, the daughter of the owners of the tavern. Gradually, the path of investigation led them, first to Lizzie's creepy dollhouse, where there were little minis of all of the players. Not the players, the characters.
Oh my god, she's so powerful. She broke the
We
fourth
are in
wall.
Lizzie's treehouse right
God,
now.
that would be terrifying.
This is not a work of fiction. Somebody help.
I'm waterboarding not only Malachi, but also myself.
And then eventually led you up to the supposedly haunted windmill, where you discovered Sayre, the only person that you have met on this island who seems to be free of whatever strange influence is going on here, who kind of filled in some of the details you guys had been missing, including the fact that the windmill and the well behind it both used to be a sacred space of the goddess Evandra. However, the well was seen in Malachi's dream as some kind of strange symbolism, and Sayre admits that she hasn't been there in several years. So you guys decided to, where we left off, you had decided to go look at the well, because it's only like a couple minutes walk away from the windmill. You also have on the table, Lizzie left you a note in her dollhouse asking you to come play with her in her treehouse, which is somewhere out in the woods. So those are kind of the two items on the to-do list. But you guys had begun where we left off. The three of you and Sayre were all walking out the back door of the windmill and heading toward the well. So as you start to walk, it's sort of like, it's still midday, still like bright sunlight. But as you head toward the well, it sort of requires heading into the forest. And so you guys step out of the sunlight into the shade of the forest, and you feel everything kind of get a little quieter, more muted. You're walking down this path that looks like it was once well trodden, but has now become kind of overgrown with some weeds and stuff like that. But Sayre clearly knows where she's going. She sort of leads you down this path, with kind of one hand on the hilt of her sword there, and looking nervously around, as you guys proceed toward the well. Malachi, as it's only like a 5-minute walk before you see the well in front of you, and you recognize it immediately from your dream. It looks the same as it did, although now you're walking toward it instead of flying over it.
As soon as I see it, I stop, and I'm like, I don't say anything. I just sort of stop and look at it suspiciously.
I bump into him.
I think this already happened.
And it's happening again. Ow.
Sorry.
Sayre looks back at you guys and is like, so, are we, like, gonna go up to it? Or should we, like...
Sorry, his joints lock up sometimes. We just need to oil him.
No oil.
I just meant... Because it's, like, kind of scary and maybe haunted.
Yeah.
I thought you said there was no ghost.
There's no ghost in the windmill. I can't vouch for the well.
I'll be honest,
I want to put on my brass knuckles.
Okay.
I'm clutching my axe very tightly.
I give Nurgle a little head pat.
Well, no time like the present, and I'm going to...
And then I notice that he's wearing tiny brass knuckles on his feet.
Yep, he holds them up.
No time like the present, and I approach the well.
So, Regin, you approach the well. If it weren't for all these, like, stories and sort of unsettling atmosphere and all the build up to this, it would be a perfectly fine well. It's, like, made out of stone. It has one of those, like, little roofs over it with, like, the wooden poles. You see in the middle there's a bucket with, like, rope attached to lower it. You do see that the outside is, like, covered in moss. There's some vines kind of twining up it. It looks like an unused but very kind of, like, picturesque, quiet well. So you approach. How close are you getting?
I go all the way, and I look down.
Okay, make me a wisdom saving throw.
Oh, no! That is an 11.
An 11? Okay.
How close am I when I stopped, if it was, like, within sight of me?
You stopped probably about 15 feet back.
Alright, can I, use my divine sense on this?
Yeah.
I'd like to do that. I'm, like, as we're there, like, when I stopped still, I, like, was, like, clutching my rock tightly, and I'm trying to just reach out with, like...
Okay.
my nebulous magic and see if I feel anything.
So, what is the reading of what's the wording of divine sense again?
I just put it away. Basically, I can detect anything affected by the hallowed spell and anything consecrated, desecrated, celestial, fiend, or undead within 60 feet.
Okay. You get an extremely strong presence. Not of a creature necessarily, although not unlike that either. And specifically where you're picking it up from is, like, down the well. Like, it's not that the well itself is emanating this, it's that there's something in the well, deep down at the bottom.
Sorry,
And
emanating which sense?
This is what it's emanating is Fey.
Ooh.
Oh, mama.
I don't know if I actually am supposed to be able to talk to Fey or not.
Just take it.
well-
Just take it and run.
I'll take it. Yeah, I'll take it.
I know Detect Good and Evil does, so
Right.
I'm going to say Divine Sense does also.
Okay, yeah, so I can tell if it's, like, good or evil as well, I believe.
Yeah, distinctly malevolent presence.
Okay.
I clutch my box of Lucky Charms defensively.
1 second.
It's a fae, not a rabbit. No, leprechaun.
Whoa, hold on, what?
Nope, I got my cereals confused.
So, blah, blah, blah. I know the type, but not its identity. I can also, blah, blah. Is there any... So you said I can't tell that it's not a creature?
It doesn't... You're not 100% sure. It doesn't seem to be... You're just getting the sense of Fey presence, but you don't know... Let me tell you what Regin is seeing.
Okay.
So, Regin,
As I'm making eye contact with whatever is down in the well.
So this basically, Malachi, you're kind of standing back and you cast Divine Sense as Regin's approaching the well. Regin, you lean over and stick your head in. With an 11, you see it goes deep down. And at the bottom, there is water. Looks like maybe not very much water, although it's a little hard to tell. As you were walking up, the bucket clearly hasn't been lowered in like a long time. There's like cobwebs and moss and stuff like that around it. You see down at the bottom, you see a little bit of water and also coins, stones, the occasional toy, like Sarah had been saying, wishes that people have been throwing down here that have just kind of collected. And as you stick your head in, you hear a voice calling up to you from under the water. And it's your mother's voice.
Oh, fuck.
And you hear just, "Sweetheart, come on down. Come down here." Regin,
Are we able to hear this at all?
You guys don't hear anything, but you
Okay.
see Regin kind of start to move as if he's going to jump down the well.
Okay, I absolutely...
All right, we're jumping down the well.
I run over to Regin and I grab him.
Okay. So you guys both run over.
Fear abandoned.
Finn, you're like fully prepared to go in.
Yeah,
Malachi,
let's go.
Malachi grabs Regin and pulls him back.
If Finn is making like he's gonna jump in, I grab Finn also.
Whoa! Are we not? Did I misread that?
No. I mean, yes, you did misread it, but we are not jumping in that fucking well.
Regin, as Malachi pulls you back, you feel the sort of the compulsion that you'd had to jump into the well breaks, and you get the sense that you were under some sort of charm.
Oh my
but
god.
you definitely know what that voice was and what you heard.
Okay,
What are you thinking?
So, thank you for grabbing me, because otherwise I would have just jumped down a well to be with the ghost of my dead mom, who's apparently down there. So that's what's happening down
Malachi
there.
makes that face, you know, where the eyebrows go up and the eyes close and like, excuse me?
The blinking white man gif.
Yeah.
I didn't know your mom lived in a well. That's so cool.
Well, she doesn't normally.
I thought she was Wing's mom.
She doesn't normally live anywhere. She's dead.
I'm sorry, so you heard your dead mother calling to you from the well.
Did she die falling down a well?
Well, actually, it's kind of a funny story. No, but it sort of. Anyways,
I'm backing them away from the well.
Yeah, Sarah is standing back, like, behind you, also looking at the well.
When I hear that Regin heard his mother calling from him, I want to know, the voice that called to me in my dream, did I recognize that?
No.
Okay.
It did sound female, but it didn't sound familiar.
Okay. Interesting. Okay, cool.
so it looks like there's just like a bit of water and some shit down there. I reiterate what I saw.
Nice.
But there was something going on. Like there was a spell or something. I mean, I'm assuming my mom's not actually down there because that would be very confusing and I would have a lot more questions.
Fully prepared to jump into the well.
Yeah, that's actually, honestly, that's kind of weird because that's not really the relationship I had with my mom, so that's very suspicious to me.
I kind of figured jumping down the well was just like our next step.
Well, Finn, how about you stick your head in, Finn, and we'll see what you hear.
How deep did it look?
Okay, I do it.
No.
How deep? Well, have you looked down?
No,
it?
Regin did though. I'm asking Regin, how deep did it look?
How deep are wells? I want to say I want to say the surface of the water was like 40 feet down.
Okay.
It's a goodly amount.
Yeah.
All right, Finn, stick your head.
Do
Hold
not.
on to your pants,
Okay. Wait, why my pants?
just in case. Like your belt.
Shit.
I don't have a belt.
Oh, well, whatever. I'll hold on to some bit of you.
I don't know if I want Finn to stick his head in there
No,
either.
stick your head in.
Finn, are you doing it?
Yeah.
I
but
keep
like
a
I hold out an appendage to be
firm
held.
hold of Finn.
Okay. So you guys hold on to Finn. Finn, you stick your head
Feels like
in the well.
such a bad idea.
Finn, make a wisdom saving throw.
Hello down there. That's a 9.
Oh my
Oh
god.
boy.
Yes.
Yeah. Finn, you see what Regin saw. You see the water, the little bunch of random things, stone, stuff like that. And you hear a female voice calling up to you, and it says, "Sweetheart, come down here." And it's your mom, the woman
Which mom?
the woman who raised you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Not an unfamiliar
I
voice.
guess, yeah, I wouldn't have known that was my other mom.
Yeah.
And am I compelled?
And you begin to try to jump down into
fuck.
the...
All right, 1 second. Guys, my mom's down there. Hold on, let me go in.
We yoink him.
Yeah, you guys were both holding it. You were ready
wait.
for this.
Thing, can you... There's water down there. Can you see if there's anything alive? Like, can you talk to it?
I do my telepathic radar ping, see if there's anyone down there, fish-wise.
Now, this presents me with an interesting question.
If anything that
what's-
has a swimming speed...
What's the range on your
120.
120? Okay, I'm gonna say there isn't anything alive down there. Even, which is almost like there isn't even like a little
Algae
water
or-
snail or something.
That's unusual.
Yeah.
It's a barren wasteland, fellas.
That's not great.
The best kind of drinking water.
Is there?
Barren.
I wonder what would happen. I don't want to do this, but I
That's
wonder
a good
what would
point,
happen
actually.
if...
That is preferable for a well, right?
What is Finn's range for destroy water?
1 sec, let me look it up.
Malachi, please do not be destroying the aquifer of this entire island.
I mean, I don't think anyone's using that well for drinking water. Let's be real.
Sarah's like, yeah, honestly, even before the,
Incident?
even back
The
when we
incident.
still threw things in there, we weren't really using it to draw water.
Yeah, I feel like if that were the case, they wouldn't have been like, God
Right.
worship aside, they still wouldn't be letting you just throw random stuff
Yeah, exactly.
down there, right?
Yeah.
So it's only a 30-foot range, and I can only destroy 20 gallons.
Okay, never mind.
Can I steal the bucket? I just want to take the bucket.
Malachi, did Finn tell us who he heard?
Yeah, as he
I
was
see.
climbing down.
You told me that was a totally unfamiliar voice, right?
It was, yeah, in your
my
dream
dream?
it was.
Well, it would make sense if now Malachi sticks his head in, and if he hears his mom too.
Well, here's the thing.
Rule of threes.
I have a feeling I'm gonna hear the same voice, but I guess I'm curious now, so
Okay.
Think you're gonna hear my mom?
nope.
So
I mean, she is really nice.
I hold Malachi's hand.
I also the reason that I'm doing this, because I don't think Malachi would just do it, because is I want to see if I can sense anything more clearly, sort of looking down there.
Okay. So yeah, you stick your head in, make me a wisdom saving throw.
Oh, that was actually not that bad. That is going to be an 18.
Oh dear.
An 18. Okay. You stick your head in, and you don't hear anything. You don't hear a voice. You stick your head in, you see the water. I will say that with Divine Sense still up, and now looking more clearly, whatever you're picking up on is under the water, and not only is it under the water, it's like it, is further away. Almost like you're not sensing, basically you get the sense that you're picking up on a creature, but it's not that the creature is down there in the well physically. It's some sort of projection of power. Or go ahead and roll I will let you roll either Arcana or Religion.
Okay, one sec. So I do get the sense that it's under the water, but also that it might not actually be there, you're saying, right?
Correct. Yeah, that's what you get the sense, as you're kind of looking for an outline of a creature and not really getting one.
So it's like a vibes thing.
Yes.
We stick Nurgle's head in the well.
Too dangerous. We don't know what he might hear.
So what was that, Hannah? Arcana or Religion?
Arcana or Religion.
Well, both are a +0, so I guess I'm going to
Okay.
go with... I think because I'm trying to use, my Divine Sense to figure it out, I'm going to use Religion. Well, that was a 5.
A 5?
Fuck.
Yeah, okay. You can't really... All you've got is that sense of, whatever's giving me this feeling is under the water, but you don't feel like there's an actual creature under the water. It's more of just, its influence or its impact or something like that.
Which makes me think we perhaps should have gone to the treehouse. But okay.
Hey, Sarah, your mom's dead, right? You want to get in on this?
Yeah, I don't really know if I want to. I mean, all right, if I guess, I don't, maybe
we're all doing it, Sarah.
Yeah, I guess if we're all doing
It's
it.
peer pressure. See, this is actually good scientific practice. We're trying to get as large of a sample size as possible.
Yeah, she will go. She's tiny,
We're gonna hold
so
on
you
to
guys can.
Sarah.
Yeah, pretty easily.
Can I just
hold
like
on to her.
hold, like when you're letting a dog sniff something that's up high? I'm just gonna hold.
Yeah, basically like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, she's gonna make a wisdom saving throw. Okay. You see her like pause for a second, clearly listening to something, and then she starts trying to jump down the well.
We pull
Ah.
You guys
Whoa,
pull her
Lord.
away. The charm breaks, and she kind of like shakes it off. She's like, "Oh, yep, that was definitely my mom." Mhm.
Okay, so this thing has some weird sort of like...
Mommy
It's a
issues.
mom.
Yeah. I was gonna
All right,
say
my turn
Oedipus,
now,
but that's
right?
both not right and also doesn't exist, so...
Alright, so there's something in this area that is a malicious mommy.
How wide is the well, Hannah?
5 feet
Okay.
Diameter?
See, I
Circumference.
diameter. Yeah,
Nurgle-
it
I don't know
would
what
fill
the
up one
difference is.
square on a map.
Nurgle, are you getting any bad vibes from
How
this?
much rope do we have?
How much rope do you have?
We have 150 feet, I think we established before.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what you use to get down to the Kuatoa
That's
place.
a lot
Right.
of rope.
It is.
We could climb down.
Is the bucket attached to rope, or is
Well,
it...
I guess that would necessitate passing the wisdom save, which we've proven ourselves not good at.
The bucket also has rope, which you could like unwind and let
Does it look
down.
like sturdy rope, or does it look like old and might break on us?
Let me make a luck check.
Ah, fuck.
Yeah, it looks pretty sturdy.
Also,
Okay.
did I successfully steal the bucket?
Sure.
Cool, I have a bucket
have
now.
Nice bucket, Regin.
Thanks! I'm adding it to my inventory.
I feel like
You know,
there's
this
a
is
puzzle piece
kinda-
I'm missing, but...
This is like a holy place of my god, but honestly, the bucket
Yeah, and
was
you want us
never.
to have this, right?
Yeah, is it a
The
holy
bucket was never holy, so
Exactly.
I guess that's fine.
Wait, can
I
you...
hope not. When your bucket's holy, all the water just spills out the bottom.
Shit, I was gonna... or... There was something I was gonna ask someone to do, and now I forget what it was.
Bucket, parentheses.
Nurgle?
Not holy.
No, I mean, yeah, Nurgle. I wanted to know if Nurgle sensed any vibes. But,
Nurgle is like when you guys all went over to the well, Nurgle is like back at the edge of the clearing, like with all his feathers fluffed up.
Ooh.
Oh, Nurgle, you look adorable. I just want to squeeze you.
Sarah, you're a... I mean, I don't know if you're a cleric. Are you a cleric?
Yeah,
Um,
I guess that's a word
this
for
is a Vondra's well, right?
it. Yeah, in theory.
Could you talk to her?
Oh, boy. Well,
Yeah, it is.
I could try. Avandra and I haven't really spoken much in the past few years.
Mean to force
But
you.
I can still cast spells, so yeah, I can try. And you see she pulls out like a holy symbol, which she basically had in her pocket. And she pulls it out and she kind of like holds it and looks at it. And then she like looks up at you guys and she's like, "Do you want to? I'm gonna like walk a few feet away and just
Okay.
seem like no."
No,
and she kind of like
I get it.
awkwardly like distances herself a little bit. I'm gonna make a check for
Now
her.
I feel bad for having asked her.
Oh.
Oh my god.
Oh no.
I rolled a nat 1.
Oh
so
my god, that's so sad.
That's
She loses her cleric powers.
When she comes back, she looks mad, and she kind of like shoves the holy symbol in her pocket, and she's like, "Yeah, I don't know what I was fucking expecting, but
Oh
no,
my
I
god,
don't know
she's
anything."
jaded against God. This is terrible. Malachi looks really guilty at having asked her.
Okay, well, so I don't know anything about how stuff like this works. But is it possible that?
Well, you lower the bucket like down the shaft, and then it fills up with water.
I'm sorry,
and
did
then
you just
bring
say
it back up.
shaft?
Wait, hold on a
What would
second.
you call it?
Finn, I thought you'd never seen a... Oh, no, you've never seen a windmill.
Yeah. Oh, I've seen plenty of wells.
Got it. Okay. Making
Plenty.
sure we're on the right page.
Well, is it possible that perhaps Evandra has abandoned this particular holy site and something evil has moved in? Is that how gods work?
I don't know who you're asking that to, because I'll be honest, I have no idea.
General populace.
Yeah, anybody who wants to can make a religion check.
I'll make one,
Yeah.
but I have a feeling I know jack shit.
I've met a priest before.
I did get an 18.
Wow.
I
I got a dirty 20.
Wow. Yeah, that checks out. Finn, you know a decent bit about gods and holy magic and stuff like that and how it works. And Malachi, you also kind of remember. So basically, Evandra is one of the lesser gods. This setting kind of has like the major deities, which are
Right,
Cord,
the old gods.
Melora, Pelor, the old gods, exactly, yeah. And then the young gods, or the new gods, or the lesser gods, any of those words, tend to be a little bit less powerful and a little more localized and kind of lend their power to specific sites. They're more likely to be seen just kind of like walking around. And so you would know that as a younger god, it would be more likely that there would be that it's possible that she would abandon a site or not leave it anymore, or like not have her power there anymore. It also is, I will say, with that dirty 20, Finn, there is always the possibility that a god can be overpowered or blocked off in some way by some other extremely powerful dark god or dark power. That sort of thing can happen. You guys also both remember that the windmill definitely seems to still have some of Evandra's presence in it, or at least some sort of holy presence. You
Right.
guys had noticed that before, but yeah.
This is a puzzle and I can't figure it out.
Maybe Evandra just isn't thirsty.
That's true. I personally would prefer to live in a windmill, not a well, if I were a god. Which I'm not.
Oh, but
I don't mean to
Regin,
suggest
who,
any sort of
who didn't just
blasphemy
hear
here.
Hannah do info dump. Yeah, that could happen, or she could have been overpowered by something.
Oh, well, okay. So here's my theory, right? Somehow Evandra's not here anymore. Somehow that demon child evil thing is probably a projection of whatever is haunting this
Wait,
well.
who's the evil thing?
We'll explain it when a little bit.
Let's not jump to conclusions, but we get the feeling, Finn, that Lizzie isn't great.
What are you talking about? She's awesome.
I'm sure she's a nice kid,
She has
but
the best vibes I've ever seen.
She made creepy little dolls of us out of things from my skin.
Yeah, they're awesome.
That is-
I take out mine.
I look horrified. You took it?
Ooh.
Look, he has points of articulation.
Oh my. Oh.
Can I grab it from Finn?
No, you cannot.
Okay.
Make an opposed sleight of hand. Opposed sleight of hand.
Yikes. I got a 13.
I got a 21.
So you make a grab for it and Finn yanks it away from you.
I hold it up over his head where he can't
Hold
reach.
on. Does my divine sense ping off it at all?
No. It
Okay.
does not.
Okay,
Off the doll.
I
You're on
want to
Thin freaking ice, Finn.
Finn ice.
I love thin ice because it's almost water.
I want to like gesture because I can't be waving it around, or I just might shove Finn towards the well. But I'm just gonna start yelling into the woods like, "Hey, come and get it! We've got a little creepy voodoo doll that you made. Come and get it. Come look at it. Come here. Come
I
on."
slap a hand over Reagan's mouth.
Regin, make a I will let you choose persuasion or intimidation check.
Oh, we're going intimidation. That is a 14.
14. you all hear, like, a giggle, just, like, resonate through the air.
Can we tell where it comes from?
And you hear a voice, say, "Come to my treehouse. Come play with it."
Okay.
Just, like, vibrating through the air, with this giggle.
Huh.
Can
you give us directions to the treehouse, please?
Regin, as you say that, the, like, underbrush at the edge of the clearing just, like, spontaneously parts.
Well, what do you know? And I walk towards it.
Thank you.
Should we leave the well? I feel like now we're doing exactly what I wanted to do in the first place. So
And that's bad?
Malachi's extremely cool with it, but
Okay.
I say, come on, Nurgle, let's go.
I guess we'll go. Oh, fuck.
Is he cool? Is he following me?
Nurgle does not seem happy about it, but he is following you.
Hold on. I don't know if this is a good idea.
You're a good friend, Nurgle.
I don't care if it's a good idea. I'm going bushwhacking.
Regin is already going.
Alright, fuck. Well,
There's
I'm
no
not
bushes
gonna...
to whack. They moved out of our way.
Oh, yeah.
Idiots. I'll follow them. I can't leave them to their own devices, so...
Okay.
I pull up a little bit of bush and hand it to Regin so he can whack it.
I whack Finn with the bush.
Ow.
As this is happening in front of you, Malachi, you follow, and Sarah follows you.
I toss one final glance over my shoulder as we leave the well.
Yep, it's still sitting there. Cool. So you guys walk into the forest. Regin, you're kind of leading the way. It's one of those things where there isn't, like, a clear... It's like, you know, when you're walking through the woods and, like, you end up just sort of naturally taking... You're like, maybe this was once a hiking path, maybe it's a deer path. I don't really know.
Right.
You're just sort of following that, and there distinctly is, like, a sense of, like, oh, this is where it's kind of clearest for me to go. And so you're following that path, heading deeper into the woods. As you walk, things continue to get darker and darker. And it's kind of odd because these aren't, like... These woods aren't huge. This is a small island, and the woods cover, like, probably, like, half of it, but... they're not that thick or that, like, big, or they weren't that foreboding looking from the outside, but the further you walk, the bigger the trees seem to get, and the more kind of, like, the more undergrowth you're having to bushwhack your way through, and the more, like, you get this sort of creepy, unsettling feeling in your stomach.
As we're walking, I want to be looking behind us. Is the trail, like, staying there?
Make a perception check for me.
12.
12. It's still there behind you as you're walking. Yeah.
Okay.
Regin is loudly and irreverently singing a sea shanty during this.
As we're walking, despite seeing that the path is still there behind me, Malachi's got this really nervous feeling, so I'm gonna use, I don't wanna hurt the trees, but I think I am gonna start scoring trees that we walk by.
Okay. Cool.
Finn is singing along with Regin, but clearly doesn't know the words, so he's just sort of like, and the
as we walk, every time I score a tree, I'm like, sorry.
You guys continue walking. Regin continues singing. This low fog starts kind of creeping around your ankles.
Oh no, my shoes are gonna be soaked.
And yeah, it is a little bit kind of like wet and misty in here.
Oh, I hate it.
But you're also seeing more.
I love it.
Even amongst, even as the woods get darker, you're seeing more and more flowers and kind of like pinks and blues and yellows and all these different growing up on the ground and also like on like flowering vines that are wrapping around trees. So it's like very colorful but also very misty and dark. It's this weird sort of juxtaposition.
How's my sense feeling?
How long does Divine Sense last?
Let me check.
because I think it's 10 minutes.
Yeah. I don't know how long we've been walking, but...
Yeah.
Oh, until the end of my next turn, it says.
Oh, okay. So yeah, Divine Sense was already gone.
All right, but I can use it again, and I'm going to.
Okay, cool. You pop Divine Sense again as you're walking. Yeah, I will say just like a...
This is feeling kind of...
Yeah, it does feel very fey. There's kind of a light, like, now that you sort of know what to look for, you detect, and it's not, like, originating from any one place, but, like...
It's like we're...
Just kind of all around
wandering into it.
A little bit.
At one point, Regin just stops dead, kind of looks around and goes, I hate magic. Look at this shit. We've got flowers and mist. This is creepy. This is stupid. I hate magic and I hate my dead mom. And then he keeps walking.
Excuse me?
Isn't magic great? I love it. And my mom.
I get the feeling that we're wandering into some sort of fey territory. I don't know if this is...
I'd say you're right.
A good thing to do. If we get lost in the fey, then how am I ever going to know who wins the baking contest?
Maybe they have like Fey SPN, and so the highlights of whatever's going on in the world around you will be rerun.
You continue walking, despite your trepidation, and as you walk, you start to see, Regin, as you're kind of out front, you start to see, like, figures in the woods around you, just, like, for a brief second. Like, it almost, like, flickers between trees and then disappears.
I hate this.
Alright, guys, we got company, I say.
And...
Oh, no! We don't have any more muffins for them!
It's disgraceful.
Just as you say that, Regin, you kind of turn around to see your friends behind you as you say it, and you are alone.
Oh, great.
Walking on this
Do
path.
we hear him say it?
No.
Do we see the things?
Each of you are having the same experience.
Fuck,
where
I
you're
knew
walking
something
and you
shitty was
turn
gonna
Do I have
around to
Nurgle?
your friends, and all of a sudden you're alone. Do you have Nurgle? Is that what you just asked?
Yeah, is he with me?
Yes.
Whew.
Yeah, you have Nurgle.
Wow, we finally ditched those wet blankets, huh, Nurgle?
Finn, you love wet blankets.
Malachi reaches out with his arms and starts, like, feeling and, like, around him. Regin? Finn? Nurgle? Sarah?
You are not getting or hearing anything. But Regin, you are... So what do you do as you kind of find yourself alone here? The path is still stretched out in front of you.
I just go, ugh, I hate this. And I am just gonna start addressing the woods around me and be like, alright, come on, come at me. Just, what do you want? You want to have a conversation? You want me to stop throwing punches? Let's go. Let's move this along. I got a baking competition to get back to.
You see, stepping out from between two of the trees, just for a second, is Heartmark.
Oh, fuck.
What?
And you see, he, like, steps out, and he just kind of smiles at you, gives you a little grin, a little bit of a wink in that kind of way he would sometimes, and then he steps behind a tree again and is gone.
Motherfucker. Alright, you're playing real mean. That's fucking dirty move.
There's another giggle through the whole forest.
Yeah.
Malachi's fully starting to, like, freak out and, like, hyperventilate.
Yeah, so over where Malachi is, you're by yourself, you're kind of breathing, hyperventilating a little bit. You look around and you see these figures in the trees around you, and it's kind of, they're just like, you only catch sight of someone for like a couple seconds at a time, and then they're just these shadowy, silhouette-y figures that you can't quite notice. But you see one figure moves, and it's kind of like shorter, like a child. You see a little
Lizzie?
girl who you only have seen in your... No, it's not Lizzie. Dark hair, darker skin.
I call out Lizzie.
You call out Lizzie. You hear there's a giggle, And then the figure that steps out is not Lizzie, but it's the shape of a child that you recognize as your sister from your earliest memories. And then she steps behind a tree and steps out the other side of it as a woman. Presumably what she would look like if she was, grown up. But you haven't seen her. You've never seen her like this. You haven't seen her in years. And then she steps behind the tree again and is gone.
Yeah. I run towards that tree.
You run towards the tree. Finn, you are you're whistling. Nurgle kind of like nestles in like next to your neck and is clearly like very like disturbed. And you start seeing Yes?
Does it seem to me more like we just got separated in the woods, or like they like vanished?
You were in the middle, so I will say you even more clearly than the other two get the sense that like you were walking and then they were gone.
Okay.
And you kind of look around, and you also still see the path ahead of you. And you are looking and you see these figures moving through the trees. And you see mostly just shadows, but then one that clarifies a little bit more. But it's not someone you recognize exactly. It looks like
Mom?
It's like you see a half-elf woman wearing she's wearing what looks like robes, like almost like some sort of like religious organization, like a monastery or something like that. And she has very similar kind of hair color as you, kind of has like your chin a little bit. And she looks at you and she gives this very sweet smile, but there's like a little bit of sadness to it also. And then she steps behind a tree and is gone.
Hey, sorry, weird question, I know, but are you my mom?
A giggle through the forest. And no answer.
Lizzie, is that you?
Come to the treehouse.
Where is it?
Can this lady I just met come with me?
No answer. Malachi, you ran toward the tree. As you go to look around it, there's no one there. Even the other figures are kind of like disappearing.
Wait.
But they're like vanishing into the forest as if, and you see like almost like for a brief second you think you see like your sister's silhouette heading deeper into the forest.
Off the path?
Off the path.
I look back and I take out my knife and I run after her, scoring the trees as I go.
Okay,
Oh,
cool.
no.
Are you gonna stab her?
No, I'm trying to mark where I'm going. Can I
Okay.
see that the scores are
when in
staying?
still sky, you know?
Hannah?
Make a perception check. With disadvantage because things are very weird.
Aw, that was good. Fuck! I was so close to being a 19 on the second one. 4.
4, you don't know. You think they are. You're making them, and you see them as you make them, and then
Okay.
you're just running.
Then, if I can't tell that they're staying, I want to take my rope and tie it against one of the trees on the path and walk with it as far as I can, I guess.
Okay. You walk with it as far as you can. And you, as you're walking, you see off to your right, you see Sarah is walking, kind of like looking around herself, almost like confused, like she doesn't quite know what's going on. And then she makes eye contact with you.
Sarah?
And you see she like looks around very confused, and then she like looks off to her right, basically. And clearly you see her like make a decision, and she starts walking toward you. And you see the shadowy figure of your sister kind of getting further away, but you can tell that your rope wasn't going to let you get that far anyway.
I look after her one more time, but I see Sarah coming towards me and I stop.
Okay. She, like, walks up to you, and she looks, like, very on edge, and she's kind of like, what's going on?
Can I make an insight check to see if this is actually Sarah?
Mm-hmm. Go ahead and make an insight check.
Fuck. 7.
7? Seems like it's her.
Sarah, why am I here?
I don't know. What did you see?
No, I mean, why am I on this island?
Is this like a metaphysical? What do you mean? Why are you here? I thought you were.
I mean, are you Sarah or are you someone else?
You're either cleaning or looking for a cube.
Fuck.
She's not wrong.
You're not wrong. I'm trying to remember if I told Lizzie this. Okay. I'm just gonna have to trust that this is you.
Okay, and I'm gonna have to trust that this is you. I'm seeing people that I know are dead. So.
Dead? I look, very, I don't know what the word is at that. I look alarmed when, I'm definitely seeing people who aren't here. They can't be here.
Right, so this is clearly some kind of illusion or some kind of trick, and we should go back to the path.
I mean, was she on the path when I saw her?
It looks like she, like you, had started heading off the path.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think we need to find Finn and Regin right now.
Okay. Regin, you see, the figure of Heartmark kind of like, he goes behind one tree and he's gone. And then he, like, is on the other side of the clearing, and he sort of, like, waves at you. And then you see him like start walking off into the woods.
I say that's so messed up, but yeah, still looks great for what it's worth. And I keep walking on the path.
You start walking on the path. Finn, you see the woman, and it's just like the edge of her robes, kind of like heading off deeper into the woods.
Hey, do you want to go to a cool treehouse with me, ma'am? No response.
No response.
All right. I follow her.
Okay.
But I leave a little trail of Lucky Charms behind me.
I'm sorry, is that in your equipment list?
Could be. I mentioned it earlier, and Hannah didn't say it wasn't.
So, yeah, they're very stale because you've had them since Gillsbury. Yeah.
Nurgle, don't eat these, okay?
Nurgle looks like eating is the furthest thing from his mind. You start to head off the path into the woods. You spot... It's actually, what happens is you hear, behind you, Regin say, still looks good for what it's worth. And you kind of hear...
Thanks!
Regin, you hear Finn's voice come back to you.
Not you!
Finn, as you look over your shoulder to your left, you can see Regin standing back on the path.
Hey, Regin!
What?
You ever wonder why we're here?
Almost always.
Like, existentially, I mean?
No, not really. I only have an 11 in both wisdom and intelligence, so no.
Alright, that's definitely my Regin. What's up?
I'm seeing dead people. That's fine.
Have you seen my mom around here?
Is that who you saw? You saw your mom.
I mean, I don't know, but she looked a lot like me.
It's probably your mom. No, it's fuckery. We're getting fucked with. It's magic. Just keep.
Are they back on the path?
They're back on the path.
Just gotta keep going.
Yeah, I walk over to Regin on the path.
Come on, bud.
Okay.
Regin is, like, so sad right now. Like, he's acting like he's not, but he is so sad.
Yeah. Malachi, I need you to make me a wisdom saving throw.
Okay. Oh! I think I get a -1 to wisdom, but that'll be okay. No, I don't! I get a dirty 20.
Nice. Beautiful. Sarah got an 18. So the two of you sort of like start looking around and
I'm
trying
definitely
to figure out
calling
your way
out to
back.
them as we're going.
And you walk for about a terrifying minute through totally inscrutable woods. No sign of the marks you'd been making on the trees. But then you hear...
On the path or going back to the path?
Going back to the path.
Okay.
They basically try to find your way back to the path.
I'm using my rope,
and
right?
Yes,
Okay.
you're using your rope, with your rope, which you'd kind of just off the path tied it. You guys manage to find your way back, and then you hear Ren and Finn and Regin.
Oliver and
hey, little
company.
boys, I need you to go pickpocket for me, eh?
All right, I
Like old Bill Sykes, me bribe people.
I untie my rope and put it back on my belt. And if I hear them, I call out their names.
Yeah.
And can I see them?
Yeah, you guys manage to meet back up.
All right,
They
I
were,
fully
a little bit
run
ahead
up
of
to
you.
them.
Oh,
Yeah.
hello.
And then I stop and I'm like, who's the smartest one here?
Nurgle?
Yeah, no, probably Sarah. I
Okay,
don't
good.
understand Nurgle.
I grab them both and act like I'm wanna hug them, but I don't know what to do, so I just grab
I
them
hug
and
him.
I'm pat them.
I hug him too.
You awkwardly go for
This is nice.
a shoulder touch, and both of them come in for a hug.
And then I just sort of oh, and I sort of tentatively hug them too, and I'm like, that was messed up.
Oh yeah, who'd you get? That's alright, if it was bad. Finn got his mom.
I'd say mine was kind of a net positive experience. I might know what my mom looks like now.
I'm sorry, you saw your mom?
Maybe. I saw a woman who looks a lot like me.
I
Definitely
saw
the most mom-like person I've ever seen.
someone who I haven't seen in 18 years, so...
How old are you?
It's no, there's no possible way it was them, right? Who'd you see?
I saw somebody who's very, very dead. So.
Sarah's like, yeah, I also saw someone very dead.
Can I insight on Regin?
Uh-huh.
That's gonna be 15. I'm trying to gauge how he's doing, basically, because it's Regin.
Not well.
Oh, well.
Finn seemed very obviously excited, but...
Regan's like, what? Well, I know he's dead because I killed him, so
Oh!
he's dead.
Jesus Christ, he's just volunteering this? Okay. Jesus Christ, Regin.
Yeah, so he's dead. Anyway, shall we go to the treehouse and kick this kid's ass or what?
We could go to the treehouse to pay our respects.
If we end up fighting both of them, I'm saying this to Malachi. I'm like, if we end up fighting both of these creepy children, I'm gonna ask for
both?
so much money. Yeah, for Lizzie and Finn.
Oh.
Hey, I'm a creepy adult.
Not yet, you're not.
Did we retcon that?
Well, I'm not like 10.
What if we tie ourselves together going forward so that doesn't happen again?
Like a friendship bracelet?
Or I guess we could just hold on to each other, but just
Yeah,
so.
I was gonna just suggest holding hands.
Aw.
Finn puts away like the braided cord that he was taking out of his pocket.
Fine. I grab Sarah's hand and whoever's in front of me.
Yeah, you guys can keep going in the same order. So you grab Finn's hand, Finn grabs Regan's hand.
Cool.
I turn before we keep going. I turn around into the woods and I shout out, "You can meet us. We're going to a treehouse. You can meet us there, ma'am."
If she's your mom, why are you calling her ma'am? Do you call your other mom ma'am?
I don't know she's my mom. I just sort of suspect. I don't want to jump to conclusions and make it weird.
That's fair.
That's happened before, and it was awkward.
I feel like she made it weird first by showing up to you here in the fake, creepy place.
I feel like normal social rules have kind of been suspended for the current time being. Anyways,
All right.
onward.
Let's zoom on to this treehouse.
You guys continue, and after about maybe 10 more minutes, you emerge into a clearing. And it is really beautiful. It's filled with this almost like ethereal light. There's flowers all over the place. And in the center of the clearing, there's a big tree, and there is a beautiful treehouse sitting perched in the tree. It's very elegant, very homey. This doesn't look like just like a bunch of like planks like nailed together. This is like a beautiful, like constructed, like that you'd see on like HGTV or something, one of their like treehouse shows. A beautifully constructed treehouse with a rope ladder descending down from it, the bottom of it just barely brushing the forest floor. There's a warm light emanating from inside the treehouse, shining out the little windows.
All right, come on down, you Baba Yaga.
Do you guys think this is the treehouse?
It's the treehouse, but come on, I'm not climbing up the damn ladder, just come down here, let's do this.
Regin, I've seen you climb ropes before. You're good at it.
Shall I ping my divine sense one more time? I think I will.
Are you? Okay.
if I'm close enough for it to work on the house, I will.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The house is... Okay. Everywhere, there's that same, like, layer of general fey fuckery.
Okay.
That was in the forest. In the treehouse specifically, there is a fey creature. As well as just, like, a powerful, evil source.
Okay. Well...
Do you share this?
Yeah, so that house is so evil. There's something really, really bad in there. And
oh my god, Lizzie could be in trouble!
So there's also a fey creature. So if it is Lizzie, she's not a human child. She's not a halfling child. She's something else.
Great, you love to see it.
But I guess we've come this far, so... It's possible that the evil source is corrupting her in some way, I guess.
I'm gonna punch the child. Either way, I'm gonna end up punting a child.
Don't do that.
Regin's like very much made up his mind on this already.
She could obliterate you with a thought.
I think with this, I'm like, I wanna ask questions first, punch later, but like, evil is evil, so I think
that's the tagline for this series.
Yeah, no kidding.
We don't see anything else in this clearing except for the treehouse, right? Do we see any other freaky figures?
Go ahead and make a perception check.
I would know the location of anything that's like
okay. Nothing is showing up on divine sense.
Cool. So, for my perception check, it's only 4, so no.
Okay. Yeah, you don't really gather anything else. The treehouse is distinctly like... The clearing is constructed to have the treehouse as the centerpiece.
Cool. Well, I guess we're going up.
Okay.
Oh, I don't want to fight it on its own territory. Tell it to come down.
I mean, I don't know if it'll listen.
I would be honored to
Lizzie?
enter the treehouse.
Is that you in there?
Go ahead and make a... I will have... Actually, Regin's the one who shouted it first. So, Regin, go ahead and make a persuasion check.
Can I help him?
Sure. You can make it with advantage.
16.
16, okay. A face appears in the window, and you see Lizzie, adorable little round face, little pigtails, and she kind of leans out the window and she goes, "Except I set up for us to have tea up here, so you have to come up so you can see where the tea is."
Oh, nice!
Finn,
Yeah.
we are not drinking the tea.
Don't drink the
It's
tea.
gonna be really nice.
Come on, guys, let's go have tea.
Finn.
But Lizzie, we
not-
have to save room for the baking contest.
Oh, it's just tea. There's no snacks or anything. I know.
I brought Lucky Charms.
Lucky Charms. Well, that would also be great.
Don't
Come on.
drink the tea.
I guess we... Lizzie, are you sure?
Yeah.
I don't know.
This is where my tea
I think it would be
is.
easier for you to come down here. We're kind of big. We might break your rope.
Oh, don't worry. It's super strong.
I start to climb.
Yeah.
Okay.
Finn starts to climb.
Alright, as soon as Finn starts climbing, I start climbing so I can make sure that Finn doesn't get up there and immediately start drinking tea.
I look at Sarah and I'm like, do you want to come? Or do you want to wait outside?
I don't know. What if I, like, wait outside, and if you guys start screaming, then I will run in.
Tends to be a fair rule. All right.
I'll just, like, wait and then also if the treehouse, like, disappears or goes to another plane, I don't know what I'll do, but I'll know. Because I'll be on the outside.
You know, that's a horrible thought that I had not yet considered, so great.
I just remembered an ability of mine.
Glad you did consider that. And I do a firm forearm handshake and follow them up the ladder.
Awesome. She actually, Regin, as you do that, let me make sure this is a useful thing for her to cast. Awesome. This is only going to be this may not be useful, but it's nice for the flavor of it. As she clasps your arm, she casts Sanctuary on you. So you feel this kind of like golden glow wash over you. You are warded against attack until the spell ends. Any creature who targets you with an attack or harmful spell must first make a wisdom saving throw. On a failed save, the creature must choose a new target or lose the attack or spell. So you have this kind of ward on you for the duration, which is only a minute, so we'll see if that comes in handy. But also, she might still be able to, if battle is engaged, she might still be able to help. Cool, so that is cast on you.
I say to Sarah, I'm like, normally I hate it when people do that, but you know what? I'm having a weird day as it is. See you on the other side.
Magic comes in useful, and you start to climb up the rope ladder. Finn, you emerge first into the treehouse, and then Malachi and Regin kind of shortly behind him. This is what you guys take in. There is a low table, it's like on the floor, with 4 like little teacups on it. There is a little teapot right in the middle of the table. Sitting cross-legged behind the table is Lizzie, and she is sitting there. It looks like she like ran over from the window and sat down. She's wearing like the same kind of cute little dress she was wearing earlier. She has a what you notice this time that you haven't seen her with before is that she is holding in her hands a cube. It is smaller than either of the other ones you guys have seen. It is dark blue. And yeah, no kind of discernible pattern that you can see from a distance, but she is holding it in her hands, sitting behind the table. The other thing that you notice right away when you come into the treehouse is that there is a like a cot in the corner, mostly just like a pile of cushions, and asleep on the pile of cushions is a boy, a halfling boy that you guys recognize as the oldest child of the children who'd been playing with Lizzie. Mm-hmm. Who you remember was absent from the baking competition earlier today, is back here asleep on these pillows. You can see that he is breathing, but he looks like asleep in the corner of the treehouse. And Lizzie, Finn, as you climb up the ladder, Lizzie like claps her hands, and she says,
I clap my hands too.
I'm so excited. We're gonna have a tea party. We're gonna play a game. It's gonna be so good. Come, sit down.
I sit down.
Question. So I know I was on the ground before, but was I able to tell where the things that I sensed were? Like, was I able to tell?
From Divine Sense?
Yeah.
You got the general sense that both were, like, right in the middle of the room and together. They weren't, like, separate from each other.
Okay, so sounds like the cube is possibly evil? Okay. Is my hypothesis.
Okay.
It's dark blue, that's how you know.
Is that the evil color?
Yeah.
Well, it was in the first arc. Yeah, so you,
Oh, wait. Oh, wow.
Wait, was the first cube dark
Just
blue?
the
I thought it was
Maelstrom
just
cult
blue.
wore dark blue, I think is what you mean.
Yeah, the cult.
Yeah, the cult
Oh,
wore blue.
yeah, okay.
The first cube was black.
Yeah, black, and the second one was marble white, I think.
Yeah.
No,
I think.
golden.
Yeah. It was like golden white or something.
Yeah. I wrote it somewhere. I'll have to check.
Okay. Malachi, you climb up behind Finn, and Lizzie says, "Yay, I'm so excited. The shiny guy with the rocks is here. Come sit down, sit down."
Hi, Lizzie.
Hi.
Oh, is that... He was with you before, right? I point to the boy on the cot.
Oh, yeah, that's Ned. Mm-hmm.
Ned. Is he going to join us?
No, he's sleeping.
During tea?
Yeah, well, he has to sleep.
Good heavens, what an affront!
He has to sleep. I know. He's been here for tea plenty of times, but he has to sleep right now.
Oh. Well, that's sad. I hope we would have a party with everyone.
Couldn't
you wake him
come
up?
back with us. He'll come back with us when we go back to the baking competition after this.
You can't wake him up?
No, he has to sleep for 20 more minutes.
Okay.
Regin, you climb up behind Malachi, and again Lizzie claps her hands, and she's like, "Yay! Come have tea."
I keep an eye on Regin. I do not want him to lunge for the child.
Reagan's looking like he might lunge for the child.
So Lizzie, kinda, I mean, granted, I'm new to Still Sky and how this place works, but I was wondering why your treehouse is so far out. Doesn't that make it sort of hard to come and play here?
Yeah, but you just have to walk through the forest, and when I walk through the forest, it only takes a couple minutes. When you guys walk through the forest, it takes a long time, but when I walk through the forest, it only takes, and when my friends are with me and they walk through the forest, it only takes a couple minutes.
Oh. What about when you're by yourself?
Also only takes a couple minutes.
Okay. Why did you send all those people to look at us and talk to us?
Oh, wasn't that fun?
No.
Yeah, is that woman gonna be here for the party?
No, it's just it's a special trick that I learned from my mommy. I kind of go in your mind a little bit, and I find an important person, and then there they are.
There it is.
Yeah,
There it is. Can I kill the child yet?
No. Regin, do you know?
But I don't know I didn't know who that was. I'd never seen her before.
Yeah, you showed someone to me differently than I've seen them, so how did you do that? That's a pretty fancy trick.
It's I can figure out who they were from when you saw them in the past, even if you don't remember seeing them, they're in your head. And then I can figure out what they look like now.
Oh.
Who's your mommy? What's your mom's name? Come on.
Oh, my mom?
Yeah.
Yeah, she is called the Dreamer, and she's very pretty, and she's very, very smart, and knows how to do a lot of cool things.
I thought your mom was Allison.
Oh, Allison just takes care of me.
Oh, okay.
Oh, we were wondering that because Allison...
This arrangement sounds very familiar to me.
Yeah.
So, Lizzie, how long has Allison been taking care of you?
A while. I think 5 years.
5
maybe?
years? Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Well, who was taking care of you before?
Well, before that, I lived with my mommy.
Does she live down in that well? Is that who was there?
Oh, she doesn't live down there.
But she talks through there, right?
Yeah, I came up through there.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Because I know that I heard from just people around town, that Allison really wanted a child, so...
Yeah, and so then I came, and I can be her child, and she takes care of me, and I'm learning so many things, and having so much fun, and making so many friends, which, speaking of making friends, she holds up the cube in her hands, and she goes, "You guys came here to get this, right?"
Yeah.
Where did you get it?
I found it.
Did your mommy find it, or did you find it?
I found it here on the island. And I have an idea. I think we should play a game.
What's the game?
Okay.
And at the end of the game, you guys can have this, and you can leave the island.
Cool. That sounds great.
Finn, hold on. Lizzie, we're just a little bit worried.
I don't know why you guys don't like her. She's great.
We're just a little bit worried, Lizzie, because it seems like some of the other people on the island aren't having as much fun as you are, and I don't know if that's really fair to them. Because they live here too. Fun?
I feel like things are good, and everybody just gets along and makes pastries.
Things are pretty good.
Sure seems that way.
But, you know, like when we're staying at Allison's Inn, Allison isn't really getting any business because none of the tourists are coming. I don't know why the tourists aren't coming, but that can't be good for her business.
Oh, it's because I don't want anyone to mess things up for me.
Well, how would people mess things up? We're here and we haven't messed things up yet, right?
Well, because it kind of takes a little bit before people, like, understand the way that things should be fun and good and everyone gets along. I have to, like, make sure. It, like, takes a little bit. So if somebody just comes and visits, then, like, you guys, they just kind of, like, visit and maybe they could mess things up. And that wouldn't make me happy at all.
Well,
why, if we play the game and then you get the cube, you can just go.
So why do you need the cube then if you've just been sort of
I
keeping
just
things
think
happy
it's fun.
anyways?
I think it's pretty. I like it. It's blue.
Does it? It sure is. I actually...
You can't argue with that logic.
I take out the box that the cube would go in. Can we put the cube in the box while we play? If it stays here on the table?
Okay, put the cube in the box. Well, I have to use the cube for the beginning of the game. But then once I do, then we can put the cube in the box and put it in the table.
Just so we all know, because games aren't fun when not everyone knows what's happening. Can you tell us what the rules are before we start?
Okay, that's a good idea. Have you guys ever played Truth or Dare?
Probably. I'll be honest, Lizzie, I don't remember.
Yep. Yeah, we do that when we're bored on long voyages.
Couple times.
Okay, so it's kind of like that. So what I was thinking is that this cube, it turns out, can do this really cool thing where it makes everybody have to tell the truth. So I could use the cube to make it so everybody has to tell the truth. And then you can say truth or dare. And if you say dare, then I say something that you have to do. And if you say truth, then I ask you a question and you have to answer it truthfully. And if you don't want to do the dare or you don't say the truth, then you lose the game.
What happens if we lose the game?
Then you have to leave.
Okay.
And I get to keep the cube.
Okay.
But if you can do 3 rounds of saying truth or dare and you can do it, then I will give you the cube and I will let you leave.
Okay, so I've just a couple of questions then. So you said that the cube makes it so we have to tell the truth, so wouldn't we just win automatically?
No, because you can choose to not say anything. It
Okay.
doesn't make it so you automatically tell the truth. It means if you don't want to tell the truth, you just keep your mouth shut.
I see. And when we're talking about dares, I know I did... We're not playing it, so this doesn't count against me, but I did lie before. I have played Truth or Dare. And I know when I used to play, the reason I didn't tell you is because sometimes people would do some dares that aren't very nice.
Yeah, so that's part of what makes it a game, is that maybe the dares wouldn't be so nice, but nobody is allowed to dare someone to kill themselves or anybody.
Oh, good.
I really think that one's probably about the only rule.
But maiming is allowed.
Oh, and it has to be possible, because if you can't do it, then you also lose.
What if...
So it has to be something you could maybe do.
But I think that it would only be fair if the dares are something that wouldn't make it more difficult for us to win. Do you know what I'm saying, Lizzie? Like, if we do something that makes it harder for us to get what we want out of the game, then of course that's sort of like a non sequitur for us. Do you know what that means?
Wow. Taylor is really, like, older sister is jumping out right now.
I lean over to Nurgle and ask, what's a non sequitur?
Like a loophole for the other team. Like, it, of course, that means that there's no good option to either do the dare
I don't think that's
or
what a
win the
non
game.
sequitur is.
I don't know. I mean, like, it means, like, whatever follows doesn't make sense for us, I guess. Because either way, it's going to be a bad option. Do you know what I'm saying?
So that would be like if I dared you to leave and go away and leave the island.
Stuff like that. Or anything that would
wouldn't
make
make
it
any
difficult
sense.
for us to end up getting what our goal of the
Well-
game would be.
Yeah, I won't make any dares that would make you lose the game.
Okay.
Or make it impossible for you to get the cube.
This isn't sounding terrible to me. I look at Regin and Finn to see what they think.
Oh yeah, I'm in.
Changeling? Anybody else want to say this is a changeling that we look? This is a changeling child.
Right. Yeah.
I'm not gonna play truth or dare with a changeling
Sarah's not
child.
here, right?
No, Sarah's waiting for us downstairs.
Okay, so Lizzie, do we get to ask you truth or dare as well?
Ooh, that would be fun. Yeah, you can ask me, but we'll do, so I get to ask each of you one, and then the three of you together get to ask me one, and we'll do it 3 times.
Do we each get one, or we just get one collectively?
You each get one. So
Okay.
everybody has to do it 3 times, including me.
So the cube, you just be using the cube to basically make us tell the truth? Malachi doesn't know what zone of truth is.
Yes, to do that.
Okay. And then it can go in the box, right?
And the box can go in the middle of the table.
And you haven't been using the cube for the past 5 years? You just like it because it's pretty?
I like it because it's pretty. I don't use it for much. It seems like pretty much all it can do is make people tell the truth, and people usually tell me the truth anyway. And if they don't, I can look in their minds and figure out if they're telling me the truth. So
Before we start, I did have one other question, which I was wondering about. Finn actually brought his here. You were talking about your dollhouse. I'm sorry that Finn took that. We didn't mean to take your stuff. I look at Finn.
it's okay.
I'm sorry. I didn't really think about it in that context.
Why did you make dolls of us? I mean, they're very pretty dolls, but I mean...
Oh, because I was thinking about what would be fun, and then I was like, wouldn't it be fun if we all had tea together? So then I made dolls of you guys having tea.
Okay.
Will you sign this for me?
Yeah. Well, I don't really know how to write.
Yeah, they haven't been to school, Finn, remember?
School is boring.
Well, I feel like you know how to write by the time you're 7.
Well, I didn't go to school before either.
She lived with her
Oh,
mom,
right,
the
changeling.
dreamer.
Changeling.
Okay. Finn looks very disappointed.
Maybe you could just like draw a cube on the doll, Lizzie.
Oh yeah, I can do that. She draws a cube on the doll.
Cool, an autograph.
I mean, Regin, do we all have to play to get the cube, or just one of us?
All of you have to play because you all want it.
Right.
Regin, come on, you're embarrassing me.
And if we lose, we leave
If you
without
need
the
to
cube.
if you guys want to go downstairs and take a minute, that's okay. I'm not going anywhere.
I mean, you can look into our minds, so I mean, we could probably just say it in
Well,
front of
only
you, right?
sort of. I can't just read your mind 100%. I can just kind of see images and things.
Right. Can I talk to Regin and Finn in the corner for a second, Lizzie?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
She sips some tea.
So here's the thing. It seems like there's not going to be anything terrible about us at least going along with this game for now, because the cube will be in the box. And, I mean, worst case scenario, we fight a changeling child. But, I mean,
I
not
don't see
great.
why that would be necessary.
And her mom. And
Well, her mom's not here right now. I'm sure she
she's
will be.
around. She's
We
around.
got to figure out what's going on with that kid on the cot, too.
Yeah, I think he got
He's
roofied.
sleeping.
Yeah, but why?
Lizzie explained, remember?
But why?
Oh, tired?
I think
Why?
it's kind of sus that she's using these. It seems like she's draining them for something. Is what my guess is. Which-
Child milk.
Really?
Aw. I hate you. Should we play?
I mean,
Yeah.
honestly, I really would rather just knock her out, grab the cube, and run.
I feel like that's gonna anger the mom for sure.
God,
Yeah, why can't we just be chill?
I
I mean, here's the problem: is we need the cube, but we also need to free this town.
do we really need to?
So
To be fair, that's not in our job description.
That is
it's not, but it's the right thing to do.
I mean, she does have a good point.
Free them from what? Paradise?
Just because it's a child's paradise, Finn, doesn't mean that this island is actually thriving.
Finn goes quiet and looks at the floor.
Again, not my job description, but if we do, I'm severely upcharging.
And I also just think that anyone who's not living with their own agency isn't really living in a paradise either. So there's that. But
He's got a good point.
I
Yeah.
say we go along with it, and then if we get the cube, at least we have the power of that on our side. Or at least not on her side. And if we lose, then we just fight for it, I guess.
Alright, well, the second anything goes sideways, I am sucker punching the child.
Okay, I do have a plan. Just trust me on this. Hopefully. God.
Oh, God.
I forgot.
It's not a great one, but it's something.
I forgot that you have brass knuckles. I thought the punching was like a metaphor, but
No, I'm gonna
it's
knock
be
out
real.
his child.
You're gonna punch her. Okay, so you guys turn around, back to the table. Lizzie looks expectantly up at you and she goes, "We gonna play?"
I think we will play.
Okay.
Question. I would also like to make a rule of my own, since you've made a lot of rules already for this game. And I think the rule should be, of course, you can say no, but I think as a dare, since the cube isn't part of the game, right? You just said the cube
Right.
is, you would let us have it if we win, right?
Yeah.
So I think as a part of the game, that it's not fair for you to dare us to give you anything of ours. Does that make sense?
Okay.
Okay.
Sure.
Then I think we can play, Lizzie.
Yay! Who wants to go first?
I will.
Okay. Truth or dare?
Truth.
Wait. I have to do the truth thing first. She takes the cube, and she holds it, and there is a, like a ripple out, and you guys all feel a, you feel the way it feels when a spell gets cast on you. If you guys would like to, so the way Zone of Truth works, is that you do get to make a saving throw. However, the person who is casting the spell knows if you saved or failed, and you can choose to voluntarily fail the saving throw.
Okay. Question.
So
is Lizzie the
Yes.
caster for this technically, or is it the cube?
I make an Arcana check.
Okay. Yeah, that's an 11.
Okay. You think that probably Lizzie would be considered the caster
Okay.
of this, so presumably she would know if
Okay.
you chose to.
All right. I mean, I guess I'll voluntarily fail.
Okay.
Yeah, I fail.
Okay. Reagan?
Very angrily fail.
Great. And yeah, so you are all under a Zone of Truth. All right, so Finn, you say truth.
Yeah.
Okay, let me think. What would be a good question for you? Who do you think it would hurt the most if you saw them die?
Like it would hurt me the most? Because it probably
Yeah.
hurt both of them if they died.
How much would it hurt, would make you sad?
Like anyone?
Yeah, like anyone in the world?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, this is advanced improv.
I guess my parents.
Okay, that's a good answer. Who wants to go next?
I'll go, Lizzie.
Truth or dare?
I shouldn't have offered to go.
Oh, flip a coin.
I will do a truth this time too, I guess.
Who was the first person you killed? Do you remember?
I remember. I don't know their name, but it was a human man. I mean, how specific do you need me to be, Lizzie?
Just tell the truth.
I-
What do you remember?
I remember that he ran at me and I killed him.
Okay, that's true.
I don't really know much about him.
Your turn, Regin. Truth or dare?
Dare.
Dare? Okay. Cast a spell.
Let me. Oh, thank God I pulled these all up. I'm gonna cast True Strike against Lizzie.
Cool.
Dude!
You could have just done prestidigitation.
God!
Cool, so you cast True Strike. You guys see Regin lifts up his hand and this beam of light shoots out and kind of like outlines Lizzie in this white light. And she like looks down at it and she's like, "Ooh, okay, that was a spell. Good job."
Regin actually just starts laughing.
Okay, that was fun. You guys get to ask me one now. Truth.
Well, who's going first? We each get one, right?
Well, you could you could each get one, or if you want to like decide together,
I mean,
that would be okay.
you did say we each get one, so...
Oh, did I? Okay.
You did.
I don't remember. Okay, yeah, each of you gets one. Who wants to go first?
Let's go in the same order.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Are you good?
I don't know. My mommy says that I'm very good at what I do, and that I have a lot of potential, and that I could be super powerful someday. But I think maybe by the standards of what you guys think is good, probably not. No.
Nice.
All right, Lizzie.
Noted.
Truth or dare?
You don't each get one each round.
Oh, okay.
Oh, what? Oh.
So it's
Sorry,
3
guys.
total.
Oh, you didn't tell us that. Okay. That's fine.
Yeah, each of us has to do it 3 times total.
I see. Okay.
Otherwise, it would be lopsided.
That's true. You're right.
Unlike the cube.
Okay. Finn, your turn again. Truth or dare?
I'll do a dare.
Okay. I think that you should, I dare you to eat one of the fish supplements that Malachi has.
I look nervously at Finn. Pityingly, I take them out of my pocket.
If I leave the game, the other two still get to play, right?
No,
We all
Well-
have to win, I thought.
you all have to win.
Is what she said before. Finn, you can swallow it like a pill. You'll shit it right back out. It'll be intact.
I don't know how else I'd swallow it. It like is a pill, isn't it?
You can
I guess
chew
I don't
them.
really know what a
It's
supplement
a supplement.
is. I reach out and I take a supplement from Malachi. And then I want to put it up to my mouth, but then palm it and like do a fake
no.
swallow.
Okay, go ahead and roll sleight of hand.
9.
Okay. Let me roll for her because she's actively watching. I'll roll rather than use passive. She looks at you and she says, "Hey, that's cheating."
Oh no, I was just practicing. Gotta lead up.
He's
to the,
never
to the
taken a
real
supplement
thing.
Can't lie,
before.
you're in the zone of truth.
Oh shit, you're right. Then I don't say anything. I'm just like, oh.
Finn, it's okay. You can swallow it.
Can
You didn't.
Nurgle eat it for
It's
me?
not gonna kill any more
Can
fish.
me and Nurgle be like a team unit?
Make a persuasion check.
Oh.
That is a dirty 20.
I set the DC at exactly 20 in my head. So I will say what she does is she goes, "Your bird can eat the supplement, but that's the only time you guys can bend the rules even a little bit."
Okay, thank you. And I give it to Nurgle.
Okay. Nurgle swallows it. He doesn't look very happy about it either, but he does.
I whisper in his ear, I appreciate you.
And Lizzie does not look very happy, but she looks over at Malachi. She says, truth or dare?
I guess I'll do a dare.
Okay. Stab Finn.
Okay. Do I have to make an attack roll, Hannah?
This seems like it would impair my ability to win, doesn't it?
No.
It's not going to kill you.
Yeah.
What if the
go
next
ahead.
dare is a physical challenge?
So do I have to...
Yeah.
Hannah,
Make an attack roll.
right, I have a question for you for logistics. Like, do I have to hit for it to be, like, me doing the dare, or...
Yeah, basically.
So if
you
I
don't
fail, is that my fault?
if you don't hit, she'll probably tell you to do it again.
Okay.
I cast Armor of Shadows
Well,
on
I'm
myself.
definitely gonna hit, Finn. So I hit. Because that's a 19 plus.
Okay, but hold on.
six,
Can
I
we
think?
back up? Because you really rushed into stabbing me and just established that you're not, like, going for the jugular here.
No, Finn, I'm not an idiot.
I like...
With my
what would
dagger,
be,
that's
like, what's, like, the least bad place to get stabbed?
that's a 25 to hit. Don't worry, Malachi knows this.
Anywhere not center mass or highly like, how about the calf? Go for his calf.
I know where I'm gonna stab him.
What?
Yeah, how
Do
much-
I get a say in it?
No.
So
No, you don't.
that was a 25 to hit, Finn. You do not get a say. Malachi knows how these things work. So for damage, it's only a dagger. That's good.
Yeah.
I'm not axing you. And it was a 1 for damage, so that's going to be 5 damage total.
Oof.
She didn't say I had to stab you hard, so I'm just sort of like,
She didn't.
stick it in your calf a little bit. Like in the fatty part.
Ow!
It's okay. I pull it back out and I sort of like rub my
You're
finger
not
over
supposed
it.
to pull it out!
Nope, I instantly heal you.
Oh. Sweet.
So, you're fine.
Man, when you think about it, being wounded just isn't that big a deal in this world, huh?
And you guys always give me shit for it.
Regin, truth or dare?
Dare, creepy child.
Finn scoots away from Regin.
Okay. I think you should climb out the window and go up on the roof and walk around the roof and then climb back in the window.
Is that safe?
It's pretty safe. It's safe if he's good at it.
Okay. Regin, I'm gonna tie my rope around you when you go out the window.
Okay. I'll probably be fine.
Regin is, like, good at climbing.
What am I rolling?
Athletics or acrobatics, I'll let you pick.
It's the same either way. But athletics feels safer. And thank God for it, that is a 12.
A 12?
Yep.
Okay, so how much slack do you leave on the rope, Malachi?
I mean, I let him have as much of it as I can. But,
Okay,
like, long
so-
enough, but short enough so that if he falls, he won't hit the ground, basically.
Great.
I don't know how high up we are.
Regin, you climb out the window. You start to walk around the edge of the roof. It is very not a good roof for walking on. It's like slanted and there's like these like weird, like almost metallic-y tiles that are like not like anything you've felt before.
This is so not OSHA standard.
And you make it like about 3/4 of the way around the roof before you slip. Malachi, go ahead and roll me just a strength check, basically, as you're like holding the other end of the rope.
Okay. It's gonna be an 18.
18. Perfect. You catch it, Regin, you fall just enough, the rope catches you, you don't take any fall damage, you just kind of like are out of breath for a second as you're like dangling there off the edge of the roof. I will say you're able to kind of like flip around and pull yourself back up the rope. As you're climbing up the rope, you see Sarah, who's like standing at the bottom of the treehouse. Like, Are y'all good?
We're playing Truth or Dare with the Changeling. I'll have to get back to you.
That seems like a really bad idea.
That's what I said.
You climb back up the rope, go inside. Lizzie's like, well, here's the thing. I said you had to walk around the roof, and you only made it, like, part of the way.
So does he have to try again?
You can try again, but if you fail this time, then I win.
What if he just goes the rest of the way?
Yeah, first and foremost, you did say I had to walk, like, oh, I would like to argue with you the semantics of the term walk around. First and foremost, walk around is a colloquial term that doesn't actually specify circumnavigating the circumference of any given thing. Therefore, I did climb up to your roof, I did walk around on it, and I did climb back in your window. Therefore, the terms of the challenge are complete.
Roll persuasion with advantage.
12.
Dice do not want you to get out of this. She, like, crosses her arms and she's like, I don't know what semantics means.
That's fair, neither do I.
You have to finish the rest of the roof.
Okay, so you have to finish the rest of the roof. You don't have to do the whole thing again.
Alright, I'll go climb around your weird roof.
Make another athletics check or acrobatics.
That's a 16.
16, that'll do it. You manage to kind of navigate your way around the rest of the Sarah again on the ground, like holds out her arms, like, what is this?
I really wish I could explain.
And you climb back inside, and Lizzie's like, okay, that was good. You made it around the roof.
What's that weird metal stuff?
Oh, it's what we make houses out of and stuff back where I used to live before I lived here.
Huh. Okay.
We make big castles and palaces and really pretty houses.
I should have grabbed...
Lots of tree houses.
Where was that?
Big into tree houses. Well, I don't know. You can ask if you want. Although I think I'm going to do a dare this time.
Okay. Is it okay, Lizzie, for me to talk to Regin and Finn before I give you your dare?
Sure.
Okay.
You guys are kind of playing like a team, so sure.
Yeah. You have one person, we have three. It's hard to think together.
We still got one brain cell.
So I want to take them to the side.
Mm-hmm.
So the things I want to know most, and I'm happy to take suggestions, are what happens to Ned and also where her mom is.
We need a dare.
Yeah, I know.
Said dare.
I know.
What
do you guys think?
So, like, as a person, I agree with you. Regin does not agree with you.
Okay. What do you want to know, Regin? Or dare, I guess.
I would want to dare her to show us her true form.
Oh, no need. Well, hopefully no need. I'm not quite sure how this stuff works.
Did you see it earlier?
No.
Were you hanging out without us?
We know she's a changeling. What else do we need to know?
We could dare her to wake Ned up.
Ooh.
Well, see, if that's a bad thing, I don't want to do it. Basically, I want to know what you would plan on asking or daring her to do so I know how to make my choice accordingly.
I would either make her give us her name or true form.
I have her autograph. Is that like having her name?
You have a cube.
Do we think Lizzie's pretty wise?
Make an insight check.
Okay. That's a 12.
With a 12, I think you can tell that you think it's probably she's not as wise as she is, like, charismatic. Most of this seems to be coming across as charisma. You also have noticed she already has, like, let you guys get away with a few things that maybe a more adult and more, like, strict Fae wouldn't. And so I think you kind of get the impression that you don't know if she's actually 12, but the youth doesn't seem to be, the youthfulness doesn't seem to be purely charade, although you're not sure how much of it is fake and how much of it isn't, but she definitely seems to be, like, a little bit less experienced.
Okay. Right, because, I mean, I hesitate to say this when she's in the room, but since she is a child and presumably not super wise, there's a possibility that we can, if it comes to that, although again, I don't personally feel a huge need to see what she looks like not as a human child, because I feel like that'll just freak me out. But
Hey, while we're here, can I just make a little suggestion? And that's that everyone just pick truth from now on. So no one has to get stabbed.
okay, Finn, here's the thing. Some people, I personally found it easier to stab and heal you that time.
Okay, I didn't. That actually was fairly taxing for me.
Okay, you're fine.
I'm perfectly happy to get stabbed.
We know, Regin.
So
Yeah, I don't think we get to choose who gets stabbed is the thing.
yeah, I probably won't get to get stabbed. Because she probably
Oh
knows
no, boo-hoo.
Hey.
Would you feel better if I stabbed you, Reagan?
No, you can
Please
do it later.
don't. Alright, well,
I'm just picture because we don't know, the dares are getting kind of fucked. So just pick truth.
Regin, do you just want to go this time and I'll go last? Because I feel like the thing that I want to dare her to do is something that might end the game.
If you've got something up your sleeve, yeah, I'll do it.
It's not something really up my sleeve, but I have a feeling if she actually does the dare, it might end the game.
All right.
But
should
I can also
ask
ask her it as a truth, I suppose, but
or should I not ask?
go for it. Go for it.
No, ask you. I mean,
Oh, what do you mean? What I plan to do?
yeah, or are we gonna do a big reveal?
No, I told you. I want to know where her mom is.
Oh, okay, word. Okay, so we're back.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, you guys turn around from the corner, you sit back down at the table.
Regin really wants to do the dare this time, so.
I've got a dare for you, and I lean forward across the table with my elbows on the table, and I say, "Give me a name."
Regin, roll a, Arcana check. One?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, this will totally work.
Oh no.
She kind of cocks her head a little bit and she's like, "You mean like my real name, like not Lizzie?"
Yes, I dare you to give me a true name.
Okay, I'm gonna tell you my name, but are you like one of those like people like live back home who can like steal your name?
Well, I can neither confirm nor deny what you're asking, considering that you haven't asked the truth.
Well, that's true, and it is the dare. So, Elistia.
Noted.
How do you spell that?
Elistia.
Anything change now that I know that?
Make a perception check.
6. I'm having a bad night.
I mean, can we perceive anything?
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair
And
enough.
neither can Regin.
Fair enough.
So. Great.
That's lovely.
So-
That's just absolutely lovely.
She looks back at Finn, and she says, "Okay, your turn. Last one."
Definitely truth.
Truth. Okay. What do you want most in the whole wide world?
Oh, Malachi looks very...
Uncomfy.
Malachi, you already did this 2 episodes ago.
Yeah, I know, and it wasn't great, if you'll recall.
Finn looks at Lizzie and he says, "I don't know."
Huh.
Ooh.
That's the truth. Okay. A little disappointing, but okay.
How do you think I feel about it?
Yeah. Okay, your turn, Malachi.
Fuck. Shoot. Sorry, Lizzie. I didn't mean to say that. Dare.
Dare. Okay. Let me think.
Finn like sits against the wall away from everyone else.
I just really don't want to tell any more truths.
and talk to your god.
Do I have to do it right here?
Uh-huh.
All right. I close my eyes, and I close my hand around my rock in my pocket, and I reach out to my god.
Okay.
Regin, why is his hand down there?
Nope.
You'll understand when you're older.
Nope.
Go ahead and make a charisma check for me.
Okay. Fuck. 8.
8. With an 8, you feel... Actually, go ahead and make an insight check for me.
Okay, 1 sec. 13.
13. Okay. You feel a hand just brush against the back of your hand just real quick in a very in a comforting way, almost like someone like laid their hand there for a second and then took it away. But it's extremely faint, and it almost has the sense to it of like, it almost you feel the sense of almost like apologeticness, and also like a little bit of fear or panic. And as you look at Lizzie, you see just like a little bit of disappointment in her eyes, as clearly whatever happened isn't what she wanted or expected.
Okay. I open my eyes. Done.
Okay, you did try. That's true.
Malachi opens his eyes and sees me with my hand on his.
Looking apologetic.
Oh, sorry.
Can I
was
tell
just
what the
trying to help.
hand felt like at all, though? For real?
It felt like a person's hand, smaller than yours, but not like child-sized or even halfling-sized.
Okay. You look disappointed.
Oh my god, it is blipped old boopy doop.
Lizzie?
What?
Why do you look upset?
That's not a...
You're right. It's not
It's not my turn.
correct.
It's Regin's turn. Truth or dare?
Dare.
Finn goes and like gets under some of the pillows with Ned.
Cast a spell again, but this time cast a lightning spell.
Oh.
And don't hurt me.
And don't hurt.
Or me!
I'm very interested at this, but I also know that Regin super doesn't want to do it, so I look kind of like, you got this, bud.
I want to look around the room. Can I look for anything that looks like it belongs to her? Like any like toys or something like that?
Yeah, there's plenty. There's like
Jesus,
there's like
dude.
a stuffed bear like sitting like on a chair. It's got like a little bow tie.
Don't start
There's
a
a couple of like kids books.
All right,
There's like
I'm cooking the bear.
okay.
Shocking
Should
grasp.
we be doing it inside the house?
Shocking grasp. Okay.
I really
go ahead
shouldn't
and
be doing this at all.
Make an attack roll.
That is 14.
14. Okay. Yep, that hits the bear. Go ahead and roll damage.
I don't know how to do this. I'm realizing.
Wow, who could have thought? The sorcerer.
Wait a second. Does the spell attack bonus go on the initial roll?
Yeah. Right?
Yes.
Yeah, so that was a 19 to cook the bear.
Okay.
Oh. What die am I rolling for damage?
It's 1d8.
Are you a D8? Yeah, you are.
This is so funny.
5.
5? Yeah, the bear, like, gets electrocuted and, like, goes up. There's, like, a shower of sparks as the bear goes and turns from being, like, a cute little toy into, like, a fried, like, blackened bear.
I don't like this imagery.
Regin, you There's lightning coursing through your veins, my man. You're feeling very kind of like amped and like it feels kind of good and kind of powerful to cast magic again. And also, now that you've started doing it, you almost have like a little bit of a moment of panic of like, oh shoot, am I going to be able to control this? Go ahead and make a Constitution saving throw for me.
Oh no. It's a 7.
A 7? You...
I rolled a 3.
Yeah. You, kind of, like, put your hands out to, like, steady yourself, and you guys both see, like, arcs of lightning, like, coming from Regin's hands, just kind of, like, against the wall and against the bookcase.
Not us,
and,
though, right?
Not you guys, it's just kind of like, because everybody's far enough away, because Shock and Grasp is touched, so we had to stand up and walk over to the bear, and so you're just leaving, like, little scorch marks all over the corner, and this goes on for, like, a few seconds before you're finally able to, like, get it under control, but you're kind of, like, looking down at your hands, like, that was not what you wanted to happen.
I want to channel the raw panic and sadness that I'm feeling into sheer rage, and I want to roll intimidation on Lizzie. For no particular reason.
Go ahead, turn around, go ahead and roll intimidation as you, like, turn around with lightning still sparking out of your fingers.
It's a 25.
That's 25.
I'm intimidated.
Lizzie, like, scrambles back. She, like, scrambles back and she, like, goes back against the wall, and you see, like, genuine, like, fear in her eyes, and she's like, okay, maybe one more question, and then you guys win, and you can just go, or you can just go now, really, I think you guys win.
I mean, we still get a question, though. We already won, but...
Yeah.
Hey, Mal, we could ask her, like, what the long-term plan for this island is.
I mean, it seems like
what's
it's
gonna
just to
happen
keep
if
it in
she's left?
stasis, right?
I mean, do we know that? Because she's aging.
Is she?
Yeah, she had her birthday a few days ago.
I mean, she said she had a birthday. That doesn't mean she was actually aging, though.
Okay.
That's just the day she crawled out of the well.
All right.
So, Lizzie, because we won, I'm gonna take the cube, okay?
Okay.
And I take
Are we going to finish the game, though? Because we only had one more.
We do have one more, but we won, so we do get the cube, right? That was the rule.
Yeah, but I feel like you should leave it on the table until the game's over.
I think that since we already won, we're just sort of seeing what happens, and I think that I can hold on to the cube for now. Those were the rules.
Roll persuasion.
I look so hot right now.
I think you look kind of like a scared dog.
Like a...
Fuck me. That was only a 6.
No, I'm a scary dog. I'm a scary dog, not a scared
No,
dog.
she stands up now and kind of, like, crosses her arms, and she's like, no, leave it on the table until we're all done.
Okay, well, the game is over once I give you the dare, right? Or the truth. I guess it could be a truth.
I mean, she would probably have to do it.
Finn, shut up.
I'm just trying to avoid you breaking a fucking contract with the Fae and getting your nose blasted off, okay?
We agreed to the words that we agreed to.
I choose dare.
All right, Lizzie. I dare you to bring your mom here.
I'm sorry, do we want that?
Lizzie looks around and she goes, okay, I don't know 100% if I can, but I can try.
Well, why couldn't you?
Well, because she's not here on the island. She's somewhere else. She wanted me to learn to be independent, so she's like...
I'm starting to regret what I dared, Lizzie.
somewhere else.
Yeah, so am I.
I should have just asked her to show us where she is. All right. Well, Lizzie, what happens if you can't?
Well, I guess if I can't, then I lose. But you guys won already.
Okay.
We
so...
win even harder.
You guys win again. But I'm gonna try. She actually... What has she got that she can use to do this? She...
I do grab the cube after I've made the dare.
Yep, you say the dare, you pick up the cube. She is going to So Lizzie reaches into her pocket and she pulls out a like a black gemstone. But it doesn't look like, calling it a gemstone is like flattering. It's pretty like twisted looking. But it's shiny. And she holds it in her hands and she goes, "Mommy, my friends want to meet you." And you guys hear, kind of resonating through the entire treehouse and through the entire forest and kind of across the whole island, you hear, "Your friends want to meet me. Oh, sweetheart. That's wonderful. I'd love to meet your friends." And that's where we're going to end our session.
I'm so sorry, guys.
Why would you do that?
I forgot that her mom might be a god.
What did you think was gonna happen?
Oh, man. This throws a lot of...
I'm sorry.
This went a lot of places.
No, don't apologize.
No, I'm sorry for me and Regin and Finn.
Oh, yeah, no, you should be.
I didn't... That wasn't even what I originally meant to say. It just kind of came out of my mouth.
You gotta go with it. Magic at
That's
D&D,
improv,
baby.
baby.
Oh my god.
Fuck, I want to keep playing so badly.
Okay, thank you so much for listening to this episode of Ship of Fools.
Oh, you're welcome.
Yeah, so glad to have you here with me. Thanks for listening, Nani.
Absolutely, my pleasure.
Cool. So we have a few people we need to thank. Thank you very much to, as always, to Lucas Mangold for our theme music. You can find him for all your piratey theme music needs at lucascarlmusic@gmail.com. That's
Carl with a K.
Thank you. Thank you also for the music in this episode to our friend Kayla Bella. You can find her at Kayla Bella Music on Twitter, or you can check out her stuff on YouTube or on Spotify. It's just Kayla Bella. And thank you to Theo.
Kayla with a Bella.
Good one.
You could have also said with a K, and it would
yeah,
have been correct.
It would have been correct. Accurate. Thank you also to Theo Golden for our beautiful logo art. You can find him at tgoldenart on Instagram. And hey, speaking of Instagram, follow us at Ship of Fools Cast on Twitter, Tumblr, and Instagram.
We have the memes.
We do. And you can also, if you like our show, leave us a review. Tell us that you like the show. Recommend us to your friends. All that stuff.
Rate us
Recommend
5
us
stars.
to
Rate us 5
everyone.
stars. Yeah, recommend us.
Get a tattoo celebrating our product.
Get
Yep.
a tattoo from Theo Golden at Ink Studio
Wow.
in Alexandria, Virginia, actually.
Not yet. Well,
Tell 'em
by
we
the time
sent
this
ya.
comes out.
In a little
No,
while.
that's tomorrow. What am I talking about? Andy, you're going to have to axe my entire track.
Oh, don't worry. I usually do that.
And we will be back with another episode on February 16th to see the results of everything that just went down at the end of this one. So, tune in for something's gonna happen. We'll see.
Yeah. Sorry about that.
So,
It's about to get weird.
thank you as always for listening, and we will see you in 2 weeks on the open seas. Goodbye.
We love you.
Goodbye.
Bye.